so confused. Oh my god. Okay, it's fine. There we go. I'm gonna pull up this chat over here on my phone so I don't have to. Oh my god. Hello. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I think that should work. That was more confusing than I think it needed to be. But oh well. So I am working on a possible meme here. Because I only know how to start projects in December, so the likelihood of this actually getting finished is pretty low. But I wanted to work on a walk cycle today, and so I'm going to do a part of a Soldier Poet King meme. Da-da-da. Move my phone over here. There we go. Curse calls. Public chat room. Listen, I usually have mods on my streams, but they're out for Christmas, so please just be nice and don't cause trouble. I mean, I will turn off the chat if people are being ridiculous. That has happened before. But, welcome, hello. I'm just gonna draw some cats and maybe answer some questions if you guys want to ask me anything. If you ask me questions in the chat, I have it on my phone over here, and I can catch them most of the time, but, if you tag me, I'm not actually sure how that works on YouTube still, but if you highlight my name by tagging me in the chat, then I should be able to find any question that you guys ask me. Nope. There's that. How does one draw with a mouse? Very slowly. That's been my experience doing it anyway. Oops. How's everyone's Christmas been? Christmas breaks, Christmas holiday seasons, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Good so far? Do I have any tips on doing poses? Grim Reaper can do line art and shading, but they can never think of getting poses right. Well, I think the posing part of it is actually, like, one of the more, like artistically difficult parts of the process, I would say. It's like a field kind of all on its own called gesture drawing. So if you look up, like, search gesture drawing, or like there's a book called 100 Tuesday Tips that's almost entirely directed towards gesture drawing, and it's all about getting ideas for finding new poses and figuring out how to get your poses to feel more loose and lifelike, and stuff like that. But it's like, it is something that you have to practice and really train on. It's not just something that everyone naturally comes up with on their own, and it takes lots of practice and putting thought into it. And there are other books and things as well, but that's the one that I like the most, is 100 Tuesday Tips, because the authors of it, Grizz and Norm, are both very like good, quick expression artists, gesture artists, and they have a lot of experience with how to get a pose to look unique and lifelike, and to communicate different emotion and stuff like that. It's got lots of really cool advice. Just this foot gets toes. I don't know why. What other things do I enjoy drawing or animating? I love working on cats, obviously. I draw a lot of cats. But I am also like kind of a closet Homestuck artist. I keep that to myself mostly though, because opinions that I have. Just like, I don't know, have never really loved interacting with the Homestuck fandom, so I usually keep to myself. But I like that property and I draw it a lot. But an up frame. And like there's possibility in the future that I might actually upload like a Homestuck project to this channel, but it's also may not happen. We'll see. I have promised some things and I have yet to deliver on them, and it's been an entire year, so I'm not gonna, I don't know, say it will never happen, but also it may never be on this channel. We'll never know. Just someday I'm gonna have like a stable life with a stable job and stability. Things will be different. It will be great. But yeah, I like that, and there's a lot of other things that I like too, but I don't necessarily like create content for them. I'm trying to think of other things. I really did like Harry Potter when it was new and popular. I mean, it's still popular now, but like, I used to draw fan art for it, and these days I don't at all. And then, what else? I do like She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, that I haven't drawn anything for that yet. Maybe someday. It's like something I really like and think about sometimes, but I never actually do anything for. Same with Steven Universe. Those are two that I'm like, I like the ideas and I like the like questions that they bring up in those shows, but I don't necessarily like interacting with the fandoms. So I just keep to myself. Look at that walk cycle. Look at her go. If I could be a Disney animator, would I be? Yeah, I totally would. I have applied to there a couple of times, but they haven't called me back, so... Why, thank you. I always like compliments my matte parts. I try hard. Hello, welcome. I use a tablet. I have an Intuos 4. Well, I used to have an Intuos 4. I gave that one away. And then I have an Intuos Pro. And they're almost exactly the same. The Pro is wireless, and the 4 has a cord. That's really the only difference. Yeah, I used to use mouse back in like middle school, and it was fine, but it was something that limited my ability to create work. So I got a Bamboo tablet very first. It was like, I would say like $30 when I bought it. And it was just like a tiny little square Bamboo tablet, and that's what I used for years and years and years, and I got into us, and that's what I've been using since. Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Hanukkah and all those things. I think Hanukkah, is that still going? Or is today the last day? I don't remember. I'm not a super astute person on the holidays. How many frames is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. Set to 4s. And I'm going to break it down one more time. So it will eventually be double that. This is TV Paint 11 Pro, which I keep in the description of all my videos. If you really want to see exactly what I work with, that's usually where I keep that information. If you don't set. So many. So many fandoms. I like My Hero Academia. I have a poster over here. I moved it a couple months ago, but that used to be visible in my streams. I have not been keeping up with it recently though, because there's just like only so much that I can do in my life at one time. So that's my explanation on that. Sometimes you lose track of things. MHA is one of them for me. But I did recently get into Beastars, and I actually really like that show. Slash comic. Slash manga. Slash whatever you want to call it. How dare. Let's see here. What am I looking at? There we go. There we go. Sometimes I get lost in all of the windows open on my computer. Somebody stop me. I have heard of Hazbin Hotel, and I watched it, and it's fine. I don't know, yeah, it's like, I don't mind that kind of humor. It's just like, also not necessarily my cup of tea. It's fine though. I thought it was okay. I know this. I'm pretty familiar with the fact that the Warriors fandom tends to skew pretty young, but it's just fine. I think that's okay. But I'm also an adult, so I try to keep that professional barrier there as much as possible. Though I do not mind having streams and having people ask me questions. But yeah. Y'all are babies. I love you, but oof. There are some jokes I cannot say on streams. No, that's not Chuck. He's up there. I think that's just some music. I keep hearing a cat cry, but I don't think it's anyone. How dare. Okay, some are babies. I won't say all are. I cannot say the amount of times, though, that I thought I was talking to an adult, and I definitely was not. I was like, oh. Lessons have been learned. I feel like that's like the curse of, I don't know, being female. I try really hard to make my vocal register like low enough that it sounds like I'm an adult, but half the time I listen to recordings of my own voice, I'm like, God damn it. Why do I sound like a child? Constant struggle. For those who do not know, I am 26 years old, and I am turning 27 here pretty soon. So I'm not as young as I come off half the time. Brr. Oh. Yeah, no, I am not 16. That's not. Yeah. That was 10 years ago for me. It's been pretty good. All things considered, I'm gonna be making some changes in my life here pretty soon that I'm excited about, but it's like been kind of like long in coming, so it's nice that things are finally falling in place with that. But stressful. Good, but stressful. You're right, your like waves a whole bunch. I think I might change this one because I like that. I think the extremes on it needs to be matched over here. Okay. I mean, I'm trying. We'll see. I don't know. Life is difficult, friends. Sometimes you don't have the resources that you wish that you would, but you just figure out how to be resilient and figure it out. I can say I'm about to lose my job, which is like not the best thing in the world, but also it kind of needs to happen for stuff to turn over. It is what it is. Another song for you. I do have a Discord server. I have a Patreon server that I started and was going to make public, and then I never did because I am a recluse. Maybe someday I'll give that out. It's possible. There's a possibility. But if you join my Patreon, there is a Discord server that we share, and I sometimes post in. But I honestly am just like a very like, I like hiding. I don't know. Like, I'm a really chill personality if you want to talk to me over like YouTube or Tumblr or stuff. I do not mind. Twitter. I have a Twitter and I kind of use it sort of now that I have it on my phone. I finally logged in on my phone. But I don't know. We'll see if I move forward with the Discord server in the next couple of months, because I think maybe the publicity will be helpful if I did that, but I don't know. It's just like I have to make a decision, but not right now. Speaking of, though, I probably need to start doing Patreon stuff for Christmas if I'm gonna get that done before Wednesday. It's fine. I'm my own boss half the time. I know what I'm doing. Do I? Do I? Okay, let's look at this. Look at that tail. That is a great tail. I just have to decide. How I want her expression to be, and I think it's going to be somewhat like, I'm going to take this layer and move it down, actually. One. Let's make it green. Move it down here. No, no, I don't want to merge. Don't ask me to merge. How dare. I'm kind of just like working on like something that may end up being a Soldier Poet King meme, but I'm not gonna like commit myself to that. It's December, guys. I have seasonal affective disorder, and I just only start projects during December. I don't finish them. It's a problem. I want her to look like determined. trying to decide how to do her eyebrows in a way that like makes sense. You say you're happy just to be alive. Let me actually just like move this a little bit to the side here. That doesn't get too confusing. Yeah. Let me think about this. Times when I'm like, I should just done her face when I did everything else. I just don't like thinking that far ahead though. I think that's fine. I don't want to start over though, so I'm just gonna go for it. I do have OCs. So I have some Warrior OCs that are from like 2011 that I did a comic about on DeviantArt and the Warrior forum back when it still existed. And it was for a comic that I had titled Heart of a Warrior. And so there was Eagle Paw, Spruce Paw, there was Darkstar, and a few others. And I liked them all. They were really good, and I had like lots of really good, I don't know, places I wanted that plot to go. But I just got into college and got busy and didn't really follow up with them at all. I also have a government assigned warrior Sona that I made for myself when that was a thing. I like her a lot. She's pretty cool. Her name is Lightning Sage, and she's got lightning stripes. She's on my design blog, but I don't really use her for anything besides looking cool. But from like my really old Warriors OCs, I think my favorites were probably Sparrow Leap and Rockheart because I don't know. Spare Leap was based off of my house cat in high school, who was like semi-feral, and I loved her, but she was also just like kind of mean. And so I don't know. She was gonna be my hot-headed like Bamf of that series, and I never really did finish it. And then Rockheart was like a prodigal son kind of thing, except his dad was a huge douche and didn't stay around. Something's happening in the rut. Stuff. So yeah, as far as like Warriors OCs, that's what I have in my docket so far, and then I have some like other like more personal projects that I have like thought about starting, but have not yet. I kind of wanted to start doing some just like loose boards for a show pitch that I wanted to eventually make, called Familiar. But I don't know. I've had time, but I've also like not had enough motivation and some other things, and I just kind of need to kick myself in gear on that and get going. But also partially my life is a fucking mess, and I've been trying to put it back together again. So I don't know. The larger things like that have been not focused on as much as maybe they could have been or should have been. Because that's like a concept that I had, and then there's like some other OCs that I have like from way back in middle school that I have not decided fully what I want to do with them yet. But someday something. Oh, I'm glad. I'm not sure that I remember specifically, but I try to keep tabs on what I talk about in streams. There was this one time that I explained circular camera movements, and I was like, that's actually a really good, helpful thing, and I could share this with this one person who asked me that question on Discord, and then I lost it, and I don't know where I put that. I still have not answered that question. I'm sorry if you're on my stream. So, I don't know. Good for on-the-spot questions, but not good for, like, a library. I should, like, someday when I have time and people want to pay me for it, I would love to, like, make some ad revenue on, like, some tips and trick videos. That's a weird thing to say in a stream, but okay. Sometimes I just don't question it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe in the future. How do I shade so well? So I actually do some compositing stuff that helps my shading for animation parts. And I actually do shading differently on animation parts than I usually do on like full artwork stuff. Like not that different, but different enough that it like does change my process a little bit. Because usually I will actually make an extra layer in a project like this in TV Paint and just like make just really, really hard edged filled areas that are shadow, and then really, really hard edged filled areas that are lighting of some sort if there's lighting, and then I go into After Effects and composite it out and give it blur, and sometimes I'll put in overlays and stuff, and sometimes I'll change the color of the blocked out layer itself into a gradient, and sometimes I do different things with it. So it depends on the map part, the kind of like shading I'm going for, but it's a little bit of a process to get it to work for animation. Because you can do stuff like that in TV Paint, but it's a whole lot easier if you have some compositing software that can do it for you. That's some like I do often make sound effects when I'm drawing. I can't help it. I do it even when no one's listening. You know what I wish? I wish this was my job. To animate. It was just like me being a little bit like wistful for a second. I have to go to bed soon because I have to get up for work in the morning. And I hate it, but you know, it's life. question. What other kind of pens, pencils, or brushes do I use for line art? In TV Paint, I really just use the default pen brush because it's nice and crisp and I like it. But if I'm going to work in Photoshop, I actually have a few custom brushes that I've come up with that have like just like a little bit of grain in it. It's not quite like this where there's this much grain, but it's like enough that you can tell it's not a hard round brush. And that's what I like to use the most in Photoshop. But yeah, I mean, you kind of just like have to spend some time experimenting with your program and defining what it is you're working with. But yeah, I don't know. That's like typically what I do. I don't actually like pay that much attention usually to the type of brush that I have. I kind of like things that are especially hard or sharp. So typically the default hard round brush is what I will go for. This is actually a pencil brush in TV Paint that's just the default here. It actually, like when you first open it, it looks more like this, just kind of softer. And so I pushed it almost completely into the hard settings for the brushes in TV Paint. If you go like all the way, I think it's like almost an entirely hard round brush. It's just got a little bit of grain to it. But I like it more like this, so that's usually what I go for. And then, yeah, I don't know, the pen brush I actually haven't changed at all. I just keep a constant power and it's like very crisp. But that's my preference. I mean, some people like things that are softer. And that just takes some experimenting to find what you can get your program to do. Yeah. There comes a soldier. Do. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a matter of experimenting and finding things that you like, or finding something that's close and then tweaking it. That's usually what I do. When it comes to brushes, usually I'll find something that's like, that's basically what I want, but I want it just to be like a little bit harder. I want it to have like a little bit more grain, and I go into the brush settings and I find out how to do that. And then I make it into what I want. Save that setting so I can come back to it later. Know that all that you can do is say I'll see you soon. Oh, I'll see you soon. probably have to refine this because I'm moving so fast later, but that's okay. I'm getting the basic gist of what I want. Oh, her head. I keep missing her top. Her eyes get wider. That's not my intention. Move this over here a little bit. There we go. Just scoot that over like a little bit. There we go. Her mouth is also floating a little bit, but I'm kind of okay with that part. That's okay. I really want her eyes to be okay though. Oh, she has no eyebrows in this one. Oops. That's okay. I'll just put some in there. The real question is, like, where is her eyebrows in this one? There it is. Well, let's do it this way. I actually kind of want it to be... a little bit more of like an in-between of those two extremes. Because she's actually higher here than she is over there, so we'll do that. I still need to fold my laundry. Am I adults? Only sometimes. Only sometimes. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it is too many. How am I going to do that? Because I don't have enough light table space for that. Go like this. Traditional flipping. Kind of. Oh, her nose gets wider too. Well, that's fun. Let's move it down there. No, I actually like it where it was. Do I? I don't know. It needs to be like kind of in between those two actually. So it needs to be like there. Yeah. Where's her mouth? Actually very close to where that is. We're just gonna leave that kind of up there. You know what I should just do? Here's what I'm gonna do. Make this way easier. Fucking paste. There we go. Oh my gosh. Why didn't I think of that earlier? I don't know. Her eye is still wandering. Part of it is because they're too narrow right here. So I'm gonna move that over. Turns out I was right before. Little did I know. There's some stuff happening here that needs to not happen. Too far. Too far, too far, too far. What are we doing? I don't know. Let's actually just go through and undo all of that. Undo all of that, and then we'll go back here and be like, I wish it wouldn't move like that as well, but I will fix that by going like this. Boop. Genius. Actually, pretty much looks right. Let's just do that. Yeah. Acceptable. I also feel like this is almost too much of an extreme. So I'm just gonna grab it and move it up. Like that. That's not a perfect approximation of how that should work, but I don't really care. It's fine. There's still some stuff happening, but I mean, I think that would be ironed out, honestly, with just clean up. She can walk. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I actually have to go to bed soon, so I might honestly just call that good for the night. And then pick this up on Wednesday, maybe. Depending. Probably not. Actually, I need to get some other stuff done. But... Ooh, did you hear my back? Oh, another one. Yeah, maybe someday I'll come back to this. This isn't for a map. This is just like me possibly maybe someday doing the Soldier Poet King map. Or not map. Meme. They're different. So, I don't know. If you want to hear what I'm hearing, it's just the beginning of Soldier Poet King. But yeah, that's the idea. I'm gonna do Bristlefrost, Shadowpaw, and Rootpaw. Which is half the reason why I updated his design today, but yeah. Cats. Because I like the new Broken Code arc. I think it's pretty fun. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it for today for me. And then more later probably. Maybe. Possibly. Anyway, thank you for coming. Y'all are great. I love talking to you / sharing time on this social internet experience that we have together. Have a good holiday of whatever celebration you participate in, and I will see you on the flip side, probably. Maybe. I don't know, we'll see.